And we're live. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Justin Wise here for Cracking Crypto with another episode of Trading Crypto 101, where we break down how to do crypto. Joined as always by my faithful companion, Cody. How are we doing today, Cody?
What's going on, people? How are we? Feeling good. Got my Ethereum hat here. You know, always staying swagged out.
Got to rock that ether, man. All right, cool, man. So what are we talking about today, Cody? What do we got on your mind?
Getting into it a little bit. I know we talked moving averages last time we were on here. Kind of getting into candlesticks here. I do have multiple lighters. I have a cigarette lighter. Just kind of like your normal stove. Am I going to need any of that?
No, we don't want you to burn the house down, man, especially seeing how much Dogecoin you ended up buying. So let's just stay away from the lighters before we burn anything else down.
Right.
No, we'll be talking about something a little different, man, if you want to talk about candlesticks. So I assume you're talking about price charts. Am I right?
That's the one. That's the one there, Justin.
That's the one. All right. Well, we can give you a little breakdown real quick. I mean, talk about candlesticks here real quick. I mean, what do you know about, what's your questions? What do you know? What do you want to know?
I mean, the more that I see it, the more it's like, why don't I just use the lines on the charts? What's the point of using candlesticks? Is there an advantage to that? I feel like just looking at the lines is easier. They go up, they go down. I can trade off of that. So what is the advantage of these candlesticks?
Well, let me give you a little back history first. So candlesticks are actually, they derive from Japan. And as history goes, a Japanese trader wanted to develop this graphing system of how to represent the price in a visual manner in order to track shipments, in order to track the price volatility of the rice markets. And as legend goes, he made a fortune. So just trading off the candlesticks, that guy made a fortune, as legend goes. Less anecdotally, I can tell you that utilizing price action and the shape of the candlesticks have been very helpful to me in my trading when other indicators don't fall through, because at the end of the day, candlesticks represent the underlying price action and show you what's actually going on, whereas any line on the chart is you trying to impose what you want to happen.
For sure. I mean, can you just break it down for me? I mean, that's a great backstory. I'm just seeing. We pulled the charts up.
All right. Well, let's check out some charts, man. Let's go look at a candlestick. All right. So pull my screen share up. Make sure that I am presenting.
All right. See it on my end, Justin.
All right. Looks good. All right. Cool. So we're looking at a chart of Bitcoin USD on Bitfinex right now. On a personal note, I like utilizing Bitfinex for my charting because they have the most volume typically. So while that's not really germane to our current conversation, it is something to keep in mind for all you traders out there. All right, so we'll just look at obviously what we're seeing right now is a whole set of candlesticks. And this is showing us the historical price action, or if we jump to the current time, the current price action of the asset or cryptocurrency that we're looking at. In this case, happens to be Bitcoin. So here we have a candlestick right here. We have this nice little green one, and it's fairly straightforward. All this candlestick really tells us, it tells us four things, four vital pieces of information. It tells us at what price this candlestick opened, and we're looking at the daily chart. So what that means is that on this day, the 19th of February in 2018, price opened this day at $10,400, and it rose and closed the day. It means the first price it traded at on this day was $10,400, and the last price it traded at on this day was $11,166.
Makes sense.
Now, okay, makes sense. All right, cool. Now, you might be asking yourself, What are these little thingies? What are these little nubs sticking
Well,
up?
I'm just picturing Justin. I could light both ends on fire, and they'd meet somewhere in the middle, and the thing would explode.
And just spin it around and let it flop a little bit. Yeah, I can see
Hey, straight green or straight red?
that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, what they actually are is they're called wicks. Some people call them shadows. And all that is telling you is within this day, even though we opened at this price and closed at this price, buyers actually pushed the price up as high as 11,260. So the top of the upper wick is the highest price that this candle traded at this day, and the lower wick shows you how far sellers were able to push the price down to 10,303.
For sure. For sure. So with all that stuff, I'm trying to trade the tippy top and buy at the tippy bottom. How am I supposed to do that?
Sure. Well, you got to look at what a candlestick has the ability to tell you. So when you look at a candlestick, what it's telling you is a story of a battle between the bulls and the bears. And as I said earlier, we know from the bottom of the wick and the high of the wick what or how high. We know the quantities, how high and how low, what opened and what closed. But if you break this candle down, you can actually see that this was a battle. We can see that price opened here, and we could go down and look at the smaller time frames to break this down. That's the only way we truly ever know. But we know sometime the bears took control, and this candle was red, and they were pushing this price all the way down. And this was just a little tiny little candle with just a little bit of red. And then all of a sudden the bulls mobilized, put the MOABs on the enemy forces, and shot the price all the way up before the bears took control again right here and managed to push the price down just a little bit. So this is really a fascinating story. And if you're following the battle of the bulls and the bears, you can figure out in which direction price is most likely to go. Now, since this is a visual system, we look for patterns. And some of the most popular patterns have proven in my trading experience to be very indicative of when price is about to turn around, when price is about to go down or reverse back up. And it also can tell us not exactly, excuse me, but at a probabilistic level in what direction a candle is most likely to go. So you can predict the candle that follows it. So I'm going to refer to this very handy thing here that is very popular. This is called the Candlestick cheat sheet.
Let me get one of those.
Let me get that, print this out, put it on your wall. All you guys got to do, just type in a Google search for Candlestick cheat sheet, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about here. You'll be able to pull this up. There's all kinds of these, but this is really helpful, and this will just break down for you the candlestick basics right here, the real body, the upper and the lower shadow, high, open, close, low. And then we can look at how they all come together. And all we're going to talk about today is the main patterns that I tend to look for single candle patterns, a couple bullish and a couple bearish. And in a later video, we'll break down our 2 candles and our 3 candle patterns for the more advanced traders. So you said you wanted to catch them bottoms and sell them tops, right?
Of course.
Okay. Well, let's look at some bullish candlestick patterns right here. Now,
trying to make that money, Justin. That's all I'm trying to do.
All right, man. Well, the 2 that I have, the 2 that I'm going to talk about today is the hammer and the inverted hammer. And you can see here that the hammer does not look a whole lot different from the Dragonfly Doji.
You ever play that Mario game?
Which one?
OG Mario where Donkey Kong's throwing the barrels at you.
And you can get that hammer and then just start smashing them barrels.
Yeah, smash the barrels.
When you get all the way to the top and you knock Donkey Kong off, actually some Neo pops out. Is how I remember. That's how I remember it. Yeah.
Hey, you started the video game reference. I kind of want to get in on this Bulls and Bears video game. They got that for Xbox yet, or?
I think actually you got to go back and get a Sega Genesis to play that. It's an old game, my friend. So, all right, man, let's check this out. So we're looking here at hammers and inverted hammers, and these are going to be your bullish reversal patterns that I typically look at. So if we look at a chart of Ethereum, okay, Now, this is not a perfect example because in a perfect world, a hammer candle would not really have an upper wick. This would be a full red bar right here. But what characterizes this is that you can see that we've come up and we're coming down. We're in a downtrend. And then we hit a candle that looks like this. And we have this really long wick all the way down. And again, the story of the bulls and the bears fighting against each other lets us know that the price opened here, since it's a red candle, means it opened at the top and closed lower. But during this time, it came all the way back. It came all the way down. I mean, the bears were able to push this from 150 all the way down to 111, almost $40. And the bulls were able to mobilize right here and shove that price all the way back up. And that pretty much tells you that, hey, some buys just got filled right here, a large buy order, enough to shoot the price up this far. We're probably going up. And you can see here that we did. Now, you can also call this a dragonfly doji because it does have that little wick. And I'm typically okay with calling that. There's nothing you can see here. There's nothing ever perfect. Sometimes you'll see perfect patterns like this. But the basic idea is to look for, if you're in a downtrend, you see a candle that looks like this. That's usually a good buy signal. It's usually a good time to get in.
Definitely. Can you do that on the reverse? Does that work on the same? If like we flip that?
It's like you read my mind, dude. It's like you absolutely read my mind. Because right here, we'll look at the exact reverse of that in Litecoin. And so this, if we come over to our cheat sheet, is going to be our inverted hammer. Now, it might seem a little disintuitive, but it's not. All it means is that at this point, we're in a downtrend. We have these long wicks down, pushed back up, followed by this candle right here, which is just what we were looking at right here pretty much, but flipped upside down. Now, although on the surface, you might be thinking, well, this is a bearish candle because the price got pushed all the way up here, but they were able to push it all the way back down. You're right, but you have to look at it in the context of a downtrend because this means that this is a very low area. So from where it opened down here and from where it closed, the bears were not able to push the price down where they wanted to. You can see from this candle that the bears wanted to push the price all the way back down. But right here, the bulls were able to push the price back up and all the way up here. Now they couldn't win and break all the way up on this time, but they were able to hold this level. They put their foot in the ground. They swung out their M16s and they were like, nah, man, we ain't going down like that. We're going to fight. And as you can see, we pop up from here. So these are really good ones to look at. If you're in a downtrend, you're looking for a good area to get in. You're looking for a time to position in. You're looking for your hammers, your dragonfly dojis, or your inverted hammers coming off a downtrend.
Sweet, man. Yeah, something about me playing Call of Duty, except it's bulls versus bears, keeps popping into my mind, and I've never really looked at it like that. But for some reason, that seems to help me understand this a lot more. I don't know why. It's because you brought it up.
It could be like Nazi zombies, but instead of Nazi zombies, you're just a bull and you got a couple shotguns as horns, and you're just trying to blow back the bears as they pop through the windows and try to get you. I like that. And then every time every time a bear hits you, you lose some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And you hear that Mario sound. Wah, 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 wah.
I'd play it. I would play it nonstop.
All right. So, but I remember you saying, okay, so we know where some areas to look for at the bottom to buy. All right. We got our candlestick patterns here at the bottom. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, listen, I don't want to be holding on to no bags that go up and come back down. I'm trying to catch that apex alpha profit. So I need to get out at the top. Are you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
For sure.
So you were asking, what are some candlesticks or what are some ways we can look at it where we can get out at the top? All right. Well, let's look at that. So for that, let's jump over to the big daddy of them all, my favorite, the one and only truly decentralized Bitcoin. Now, here we got a couple good examples of my favorite reversal patterns to the downside. And these are going to be your sell signals. So if we pop back over here to our candlestick cheat sheet, we got our bearish candlestick pattern. We're going to look at our shooting star first, or it could be a gravestone doji. Again, you can see that the only thing that differentiates these two in reality is the size of the real body, which is the size of the difference between the open and the close. Here we've got a very little real body, and here we've got a more significant one, although still pretty small. Okay. So we'll come over here and look at this. And here, even though we have a lower wick, this is not the perfect example of it. It's about 98% of the way there. And this is, I would still call this a shooting star, although you could look at it as a gravestone doji. So here we see that price is at an uptrend, and then we have a candle like this where the bulls are trying to push the price higher, and they're able to push it all the way back down and hold this level. It's basically the exact same thing we're looking at over here in reverse, where you're thinking, okay, well, the bears weren't able to push it down past this level. It's the exact same thing. The bulls aren't able to push past this level, even though they are able to overcome for a little bit. The bears mobilize, push down, and hold this level really tight for a whole day. And then from there, we go down, as you see.
Sweet.
Pretty helpful.
Yeah,
pretty helpful.
Totally helpful. Dude, this is awesome. This is an awesome start. I don't want to blow my brain out too much with these dragonflies, dojis, hammers, Mario games, Bulls, Bears, Call of Duty. But this has been very helpful. Very, very helpful. I can't wait to study up some of this stuff this week and get into more candlestick patterns next week, man. I mean, that's the plan, right? Candlestick patterns for a couple of weeks, right?
That's the plan. We're going to go over some of these basics and help out everybody with their trading, get everybody on the right path to gaining excellence and gaining those alpha gains that everybody wants to get in this exciting market that we're in. It's the best place to be. There's gains like this available nowhere else on the planet.
For sure. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. This stuff's great. Hey, just a little thing I want to start doing. Our last video got some comments, and I think people do shout outs for good comments. I want to start out shout outs for maybe bad comments, because the bad comments are stuff that we can improve on, and we really appreciate any and all comments, good, bad, ugly, the other thing. So we're going to give a shout out to Keith Green Shields on our one and only comment on our video last week that said, "Sound is very low. Thanks for the effort. May want to review your upload next time." Hopefully the sound's better. Me and Justin both got mics, both upgraded.
Hopefully the sound is better. All right. I like to take some of those crypto gains that we're talking about and turn it into cold hard technology to improve the quality of our content here for you guys. Again, if there's anything that you guys want us to cover, if there's anything you want us to talk about, if you feel like there's anything we missed, if you find that our information was helpful, or if you just don't like the way my face looks, please be sure to let us know in the comment section down below. And check out our website, crackingcryptocurrency.com, where you can join our community and live chat with all the traders that we have in that group, all the investors that we have in that group. You can talk with me, you can talk with Cody, any of the other admins can help get you on track so you can be on the path to trading excellence.
Sounds good, brother. Peace. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Till next time.
Thanks, guys. Everybody have a good night.